The next video stems from Indonesia, and it was found on the profile of user Envitasari12. He shared it after a nightly trip on the motorbike of his friend. They were on the way back home after visiting a friend. The young man states that whatever was captured that night, straight above them, was visible to the naked eye. And no, it was not a traffic light. Very interesting. What exactly was floating there in the sky? What's your idea? The two men believed that it was a female spirit, which is why they were startled quite a bit after that. Could it have been something else that was hanging there? It is certainly mysterious though. Now the next video was sent by Michael Medina, and it was found on a channel called Caleb C Videos. And the video was just titled Ghost Caught on Security Camera, and it was recorded in the Eagle's Nest Hotel. Apparently a shadow was captured. And this is a CCTV recording from one of the security guards. That a shadow just running towards that little trolley and then back into the elevator. Now could this be a light anomaly? Or is this actually a spirit? Now there is a filter applied. I definitely think that there's more going on than just a blur on the lens. Definitely a fast-moving object. But is it paranormal? Maybe the CCTV camera could capture a ghost. Would not be the first time that this happened. Fascinating. We haven't taken a look at paranormal enthusiast Tim Morozov for quite a while, which is why tonight we are following him into a forest, an area which he simply calls the anomalous zone. It is one of the most mystical forest areas in all of Russia. Based on his reports, he has spent several nights there already, and has captured some really unnatural encounters with either strange creatures or things that he couldn't fully understand. The trees in the forest are bent in a really interesting way. Tim states that this is really rare and caused by geomagnetic radiation from the ground, as well as frequent temperature drops. In his mind, this also has affected some animals, creatures, or whatever else is living in these forests. After spending a few hours in the forest, he states that he felt his mind playing tricks on him already. However, he decides that now was a good time to check the forest for any anomalies.
Сейчас слышу, как скрипит дерево где-то неподалеку. Хотя до этого такого не было. Была полная тишина.
Tim is deciding to prepare his Ouija board and to contact the spirits that might be home to this forest region.
Духи этого леса, вы можете выйти со мной на контакт.
Right in this moment, his camera captures something that is roaming in between the trees right behind him. Of course, he didn't notice anything at the time. He doesn't get any answers and then concludes the Ouija session at the time to return to his tent. He keeps 2 cameras outside, however, to capture any unusual activity that might occur. Tim is asking the spirit world for a message over his radio and opens the portal again by his Ouija board. Then things get interesting.
Может, это фонарик, тень откуда-нибудь показалась.
Now on high alert, Tim is following the weird cracking sounds. Did he capture a glimpse of the spirit that only moments before seemed to have been walking right behind him? Whatever the answer, his investigation took several more interesting turns, and you should check it out on his channel. This TikTok series was recorded by Camilo Pugliato. He was quarantined in an hotel for a couple of days in April, and he started to hear some really odd noises in the middle of the night. And there were also smells that weren't really pleasant, to say the least. To make it all a bit more eerie, he seemed to be the only guest. Weird, isn't it? Let's check it out.
¿Qué es esta? Dale, enfoca, 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 enfoca. Ahí está. Puta, qué asco. Oye, no tiene ni idea cómo huele este lugar.
Camilo decided to check this place out a bit more thorough, because he actually couldn't believe that this room was empty, because the noises were really loud. So what gives? And where did the strong odor originate from? In the end, he wasn't really sure what was causing all of this, and he concludes that he will try to move out of the hotel soon. And at that moment, we can see something weird in the background. Is it paranormal?
Weón, ¿qué es esa mierda? ¿Qué es esa mierda, weón? ¿Qué es esa mierda, weón? ¿Qué es esa mierda, weón?
Taking a closer look makes us realize that there's a shadow moving out of that closet. Is it related to everything going on here? Of course, we have to acknowledge that it is a bit suspicious, the way the camera is angled, straight to the closet. What a coincidence, right? But on the other hand, it's also a pretty odd occurrence to come across an empty hotel. What do you guys think? Let me know. The next video was shared by mi amigo Moshe. The man is telling us about an infamous siren that can be seen in the local waters around his hometown. He swears that he had seen it several times over the years, but that he clearly remembers an encounter he had when he was still a little kid. Apparently, this creature can be heard singing in the midst of night, attempting to lure unknowing men into the waters. He was out live streaming this encounter on his channel and even answering questions from his viewers.
Oigan, oigan, oigan. Escucho algo.
A ver, vamos.
Moshe wanted to know if he's able to conjure this thing up tonight. Maybe singing would help.
¿Qué pedo? ¿Qué? ¡Ah, no mames! ¿Qué pedo es eso? ¡Ah! ¡Ah! No seas mamón. ¿Qué?
There seemed to be something standing, but what exactly was it? The infamous siren? Another spirit, perhaps? Really hard to say. Now we dive straight into a haunting that takes place in the apartment of user Chris M. Davenport, who starts filming once the creepy activity is beginning to unfold at night. Let's see what he can capture.
Here needs to leave. Like, I've had enough of it. And it's just getting worse. Like, really, really bad. What's that? What's that? Alright, you need to leave. I've had enough of your games. I'm tired of being played. This is so creepy. This is so creepy. My camera won't focus. There we go.
What makes this video in particular pretty realistic to me is the natural reaction Chris seems to have once he gets really startled by these weird noises. And where could they originate from? Is it an unseen force knocking on the walls?
Alright, you need to leave. I've had enough of your games. I'm tired of being played.
I mean, we can't be absolutely certain here, but maybe the entity wants his attention. There also seems to be an EVP. What is that entity saying? What is your opinion? The following video was shared by Brooklyn Marie on her profile. She started this video diary after her family had uncovered a trapdoor that led to some kind of basement underneath their house. And ever since, they could hear really unsettling noises from down there. It almost sounded like screams. And one day, she saw this down there. Could this really be a woman in white? Or was she just seeing things? Till this day they have no idea what had caused the yelling down there. Quite the eerie story in my opinion. The next really unsettling clip has been shared by Sue LCR94 and it appears to feature a creepy looking thing that was positioned behind her husband while he was holding their baby. All of this was documented by their baby monitor, and when Sue realizes what got captured, she decided to share it with her audience.
So my husband's rocking the baby to sleep, and does anyone see this creepy figure on the floor behind them? What is that? It looks like there's like legs and arms and a head. What?
Let's take a closer look at that sighting. What are we working with here? Well, the first thing that pops to mind is just smudge on the lens. But is it really? Other viewers of hers pointed out that it could also be the spirit of a dog, which of course is also likely, if it is paranormal after all. What do you see in that apparition? Is it anything paranormal? Or are we looking at something else here? Now we want to look at the updated case of El Franco, who thinks that an evil entity is inheriting his old apartment. He decided to place a night camera in his room because he doesn't feel safe there anymore. A bite mark on his arm is proof for his concerns. And yes, shortly after setting everything up, he became witness to some unusual activity that unfolded during his sleep. Looks like a ton of orbs and an inexplicable object right in front of the lens. Even when not asleep, stuff just starts happening in his room. This night, the door just opened to his room, although he was the only person home and all 3 of his cats were with him. So what could have caused that? At least he was suspicious at that point. But it got better. Something was tampering with the tower of his cats. And the following night, the entity opened the door again. Maybe just to say hi. Very unsettling. Another time he was just playing with one of his cats, and there appears to be something peeking around the corner that some say is terrifying.
Hey! Hey!
Some viewers say it is the head of a female. Could it be? But how? And where did it go? Convinced that it is in fact the spirit of a female, he tries a ritual in the bathroom to get rid of her.
Que he traído una vela y un espejo y a poder hablar con ella. Amiga, por favor, te pido que me dejes solo. Te lo pido, por favor. Amiga, por favor, te pido que me dejes solo. Te lo pido, por favor.
What do we make out of that? Did the spirit answer, or is some foul play involved here? Almost a little bit too creepy, to be honest. He catches her staring, now almost on a daily basis. Wouldn't you be terrified at this point? Is it a demon or a shadow figure? Or maybe both? If it isn't a hoax, of course. And sometimes it's just the cats that give him a good spook. Thank God, right? But this must have been one of the most terrifying captures that his night camera could capture. Look at the eye that is definitely looking at him. I mean, it is pretty safe to say that this must be a demon, if it isn't just a friend in a mask. Were you creeped out? Let me know.